Son of Man must be betrayed. But woe to him who betrays him. It were better that that person was not born. We must be wary not to be the ones to betray Jesus, that I be not the one to betray him. And when that happens, and I have time to ask, time to reflect what is with all my life. When I fall, I rise the joy in the God who forgives. At the resurrection, women are weeping and mourning, wondering where have they placed him. He carried his body. The time for the dead among living is not here. Be my witnesses. Not here is in. As we say this great day, be witnesses of the good news that Jesus brings to us all. We now look for Jesus among the dead because he is risen. Let us reflect on the love of God for us all. He sent us his only Son to come and save us by revealing himself as a God of love. As Emmanuel, God among us. Do we sense the presence of God in our lives? Is he with us as we suffer? Where is God? Or is he hiding during these terrible times when we are faced with this pandemic, the COVID-19? These are not just numbers. Not just that we are facing 1,000. Those who are dead, a given number. It is now people we know, people we love, people we have interacted with. It comes much closer home that this pandemic is vicious. But as St. Paul says, "Oh death, where is thy sting?" We rejoice even in these tough moments because we know God is accompanying us. And when we worship the true God and we do his will, whether we live or we die, we belong to the Lord. And that's the call to be followers of Christ was so single-minded, so focused. He would never betray the Father, even in the toughest moments. When he cries to God to help him, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, and God is quiet, he knows there is a purpose. Let's continue storming heaven with our prayers. Let us storm heaven with our prayers, pleading unceasingly that God may always be Emmanuel, that the joy of the resurrection may always be with us, and that no matter how much pain and suffering we go through, we associate that with the pain of Jesus and share in his pain and suffering so as to share in his glory. Let us surprise the world by our joy. Let's give joy and hope to the world because we know in whom we put our trust. Let us not mourn and groan like pagans because we have a who loves. When there was a storm at sea, the disciples of Jesus met that we are patient while you sleep. They failed to realize that Jesus was in charge even in his sleep. He eventually calmed the storm, and they marveled at troubles from sleep and lack of faith to put our trust in Jesus. In vain is early arising, and going late to bed when the Lord watches and feeds his own. Our hope is in the Lord who made heaven and earth. Let us be awake, the time to be awake. Let us sleep, the time to sleep. Fire is spending us in a perfect time. I wish that became a revelation of us, all the workers, for their work in the ministry of healing. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has anointed me to proclaim the good news, the healing of the sick. May we be close to those who suffer. May God be close to those who are sick, those who are at the point of death, that they may realize the healing power of the Spirit and of the body through the oil of anointing. The oil of chrism is so central in the life of the church because it confers an indelible mark in us at baptism, at confirmation, and in the holy orders, as well as during baptism, in quotes, when we dedicate and consecrate holy places like churches, altars, being dedicated with the oil of chrism, being baptized and given totally to God without change. And this is why we don't consecrate every small village church, because by consecration there is that indelible mark that you cannot destroy it, you cannot expand it. It is given for that purpose, no matter how small it is, or as a place to me God. At baptism, with the anointing, with the greater oil of chrism, we are given this priestly charge to consecrate for God according to the royal priesthood. We are given the prophetic verse to proclaim the goods in and out of sun, to be bold in our voices, not to be compromised, as well as priests, as bishops, that will be the conscience of the society, wherever, and that our glowing example may speak more to us, our priests in a special way. Let's think of our consecration. Let's think of our anointing on our foreheads at baptism. Let's think of our ordination as our priest, bishop. We live a priestly calling, our kingly role, our Vedic role, in at moments, both give for determination to continue serving as an example to others. It is a worry through these oils. Like what percentage of those powers are you using? What percentage of the powers given to me by God to liberate those who are in bondage? Bless blessings, hope to people. All, are we wasting our talents? Are we wasting these gifts because of not putting them into full use? That we are this blessed. Let's dedicate ourselves to disabuse people